Today we're going to move on. We're on this series that was developed to deal with different areas of content, guys, just to remind everybody. So today we're going to be focusing on email marketing. And obviously the goal, like with everything we do, is for it to be hyper practical. So the kit you're getting today in the playbook, the resource that comes with us, as you all know, every week we design a sort of a little resource kit, playbook, whatever you want to call it, that goes with it. So you have everything we talk about, plus whatever else you might need. So this week you're going to get a 12-month email content calendar. So these are like sample topics for every month. It's a simple format, but it's all you guys need. You don't need to go crazy. This doesn't need to be overly complicated.
And of course, you can customize it. You can make it
Yes.
as much yours as possible. And that would be the idea.
Yeah.
We can't. I specifically can't, and Sabina can't. Um, in the way you do, and what your audience specifically is. And this is where the rubber hits the road. Is you need to take these tidbits every week, and as you put them into action, and I'll give you guys an example because I just came off a meeting with my team at 10:30 every Monday. I meet with my actual team, my real estate sales team, and we're having a really hard time right now. Email marketing is where we're turning into, so this couldn't be more relevant. And the tough time that we're having is I have two condos listed. My client's name is John Quirk. John listed two condos of his with me. One's been on the market for 3 months. One's approaching 60 days, 2 months. And we literally have nothing. No action. Like I'm talking beating a dead horse. Drop prices, do this, do that. It is absolutely frustrating and devastating and discouraging to myself and my entire team to week after week have to go through this. However, this is the profession we chose. It is our problem to solve. We are marketers. We market homes. So my agent, Sumit, says to me, the problem here, Simeon, is that our clients, they just want to see us dance. And every week they expect a new dance move. How many tricks can we pull out of the bag? Well, the question is enough to get the job done. Or else we're going to get fired. Somebody else will get the mandate. Somebody else will sell it. And all we have is a waste of our time, because that's all we have is our time. We trade our time for money. Expense potentially from staging, from cleaning, from visiting the property a million times. So what do? Well, I have a nice database of 18,000 people. I said, Tyler, get the whole team. I look at my entire team and I tell everybody, every single one of you, I want you guys to email me all your listings right now. Bright has 3, Jesse has 4, this person has 2, all of them. Let's do a standalone dedicated email every Wednesday moving forward. Every Wednesday moving forward. And what we decided to do is we could have said opportunities, but that speaks to investors. Are investors investing in a market like this? No. They'd rather put their money in Tesla or whatever. They're not going to put money in real estate when interest rates are high, rents are low, and potentially have upside on equity. So we're looking for end users or extremely parasitic investors, meaning the guys who are chasing opportunity, discount and deep discounts. So with that being said, we're going to call it your next home, your next opportunity. So I'm speaking to end users and I'm not shutting out investors. I'm speaking to investors, but I'm not shutting out my end users. The only people buying right now are end users, guys who need a home. So we have to really, really, really think of exactly how to go about the words we use. We can't be tone deaf in our emails. We can't be tone deaf in our socials. We have to be, if you think of it this way, and this is something I've used before, I've kind of coined it. If social media is dating, email is where you get married. Social media introduces the audience to you. Email makes it real. Social media gets introduced to you, and then you acknowledge them with a real email. Hi, this is me. Whether it's my newsletter, whether it's a personal email, whether it's an email series, this is where I nurture you. This is where you live now in my world. Social media is always good to promote stuff, but when you need results, when you need to close, there has to be a personal email. 90% of people check their email daily. I don't care what you do for a living, whether you're a laborer, whether you're a teacher, whether you're, it doesn't matter what you do, you're getting emails now. Whether it's doctors, whether it's benefits, banks, nobody does anything physically anymore. There's an email component to everything. People live in their inboxes. You need to be in people's inboxes. That's where this whole thing comes in. So to kind of finish off what I was speaking to a second ago, my strategy in order to be able to display new dance moves to my sellers, new things, I'm going to call all my listings right now. My whole team is going to call all their listings. And we're going to say, guess what? The last week's been light on showings. We're doing a brand new targeted campaign to 18,000 people who have shown interest in buying homes.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to say, that's amazing. Thank you. What am I trying to do? Buy more time to sell these listings. I'm looking to create opportunities potentially, but I need more time. I don't want to lose my listings. Who in this room resonates with this market? How are the markets that you're in?
I think, you know what, Stephen,
Jerry,
that's such a
Jennifer,
good
where are you
question.
guys at? Yeah,
Yeah,
tell me
everybody,
where
if
you
you
guys
want
are
to,
and what it's like over
yeah, tell us, drop some notes in, guys, if you can. Um, what's interesting about that is, obviously every market's a little bit different, but the story's the same. So there's always going to be leading and lagging property types and all that good stuff. And, I think you talking about a real example, and maybe over the next couple of weeks, you can give us, keep us up to date, let us know what's worked and what's not worked and all that good stuff. I mean, there's so much value in sharing that.
Yeah, I mean, I can tie everything that I teach is something that I do. There's
Right,
nothing that I teach that we don't put into effect. So I can tie
right.
literally everything to my actual marketing plans, email
Mhm.
plans, and business strategy.
Yep.
Right now is the time that there's, you can't do more. Like, this is the time to do more. You have to do more, 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 and more
More.
for something to stick.
100%. Yeah.
It's a very
Well,
tough
okay.
market, guys. It's a very tough market in email marketing.
So having said that, then why don't let's talk a little bit about why you think email marketing is sort of one of the key secret weapons, or why it's not dead, or whatever it is that people are saying out there.
Yeah. So not only is it not dead, it's the predominant way of doing business. For us, this is how we invite people to webinars, to seminars, to events, to charity events, to all the things.
Yeah.
We have a very loyal following. We enjoy a 40, maybe a little bit less now, for about 35%, 38% open rate, which is massive given what Apple and what Google and what everybody's doing to kind of cut down on people's spam. Email marketing is targeted, it's nurturing, and it helps create inbound traffic. What does that mean? I can't call everybody every day. It took us a week, it took 10 of us a week to do 1,500 calls. That resulted into 180 clarity
Mhm.
calls booked. Out of the 180 clarity calls, 17% of them are either a listing or a firm sale. So stuff
Awesome.
works,
That's huge
but that's
numbers.
calling.
Yeah.
It's massive numbers. Even in a shit market, in a completely horrific market, when you put enough action, you're going to get some reaction.
Right.
Email marketing in the US is when the email goes out, people are either going to follow a call to action, they're going to reply, they're going to do something, ignore it. But
Mhm.
it's a numbers game.
Right.
When you send out an email that says, I'm doing an upcoming webinar on cash damming. What is cash damming? Well, if I pique your curiosity, you're going to click it. If you clicked it, you're going to watch something. If within 30 seconds you don't like it, you're going to close it. But if you do like it, you're going to sign up.
Mhm.
If you're going to sign up, you're going to get a call from my concierge. If my concierge calls you, 90% he's going to close you into an appointment for a clarity call to understand what cash
Yeah.
damming is and how it can be used for your benefit. This all came from an email. This entire series of actions came from a single email. Email is the best because you can A/B test emails. You can see what works. You can see what sticks with a consumer. If you see an email get a 65% open rate and then your next one takes 17%, you know what people care about. You know what people don't care about. Once you understand what people care about, you do more of that thing to get the result that you seek. So when we say we're going to give you a 12-month calendar of ideas, it was followed up directly with make it your own. Telling somebody about, we're going to do a first-time buyers session. That is so generic and so old. That's not how you get somebody in the door. If you're going to do a first-time home buyers webinar, you're not going to call it first-time home buyers webinar. You're going to say, if you're looking to buy your first home, that you can't miss this event. If you're finally entertaining the thought of owning rather than renting, this is the event you don't want to miss.
Yeah.
You have to get into your audience. You have to get into a way of speaking that piques people's interest, doesn't look like a flyer at the bank.
Right.
Boring.
Well, it is
Nobody
boring.
wants to
Plus,
be
the other thing that we know, yeah, exactly. Well, and we also know that real estate emails that are localized are always going to perform better. So say that you're talking about your town or your community or whichever, building area or whatever it is, it's absolutely critical for sure.
Guys, I think my camera's not
Your
working. Can you
camera
hear
just
me?
disappeared.
But you can hear me, Sabina?
We can hear you. We just can't see you at the moment.
I'll try to reset the camera or go to a different one. I have a
Sure,
few
sure.
here. Give me a second.
Yeah.
But
Well, while you're
yeah, let's finish that thought.
okay.
Let's finish
Uh,
that thought.
So
Who Yeah, go
no,
ahead. Go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. I wasn't sure if you wanted me to continue. You go ahead.
What I wanted to say is the segmentation and personalization is key. So depending on your age, depending on your style, depending on all those different things, this is your emails have to take your persona. People follow your persona. And what I mean by that is just like on socials, like we talked about, you're creating kind of like an authentic brand. You're trying to create an image, a brand, a look. Next week, we're talking about building a personal brand.
Right.
So we take socials, we take email. Well, how does that all lead into brand? There's a reason I have the content mastery series goes into a flow. And all these pieces create something. And what they create is your business. So buyers, sellers, investors, past clients, sphere of influence, your top 50, call it, go down any path that you want. The content that you put in an email, because somebody asked, like what's something that really works, or the length, or should be short, should be long. You need to try both. Some people look at a long email and delete it. If you send me a short email, I don't take you seriously. Everyone's different, and there's no right or wrong. It's just your audience, and you need to A/B test it. So if you were to write original content, write 500 words, put it into your AI, whether you use Gemini, ChatGPT, they're all the same now. They're all super powerful. Ask it to rewrite it in a tone that's funnier, in 700 words or less, then in a different version, more serious and more professional, 300 words or less. Take a look at the different versions. What do you think? If you're 28 years old, if you're a 28-year-old realtor, been in the business 4 years, and all your clients are all between 25 and 35, I'm guessing a long email is not going to be the most effective. Why? Because the millennial generation and thereafter are all looking at shorter and shorter forms. Reels, YouTube Shorts, all the media they consume and all the information they take in is shorter and shorter and shorter. Whether it's good or bad, well, our civilization will tell. But regardless, we know as a fact that the younger you are, the shorter format you want. Whether it's because they don't like bullshit, whether it's they don't like fluff or full context, When I read something, I want full context. I want to know
Mhm.
what you were feeling, what you look like, what you were wearing. I want to know everything. Why? Because that's how my brain works. But if you
Yeah.
know, like for example, my database is older. I know my database is older. It's actually much older than me because I attracted investors early on. So when I was building this massive business in my 30s, I'm now 45. In my 30s, I was attracting 45-year-olds who are
Mhm.
now 55 and 60. If I send them a reel, we're cooked. They don't appreciate TikTok. They want nothing to do with reels. They want data, they want information. They're boring. So I have to be in tune and on point with the people that are going to feed my machine. So email marketing allows you to test all these things with no consequence. Nobody's going to hate you because of an email that they didn't resonate with. They might ignore you, but you can get them back. Email is the free, best method of nurturing, trying, and honing in on your market. You can give them market stats. You can give them invitations. You can do giveaways. You can do a million different things. Once or twice a year, do a giveaway. See how quickly people open it because they know you're not a fake company. I know it's Sabina sending me an email. I'm going to open it. If it's a giveaway, I'm going to call her and be like, "What are you doing? What are you crazy? Like, what are you working on?" But I'm going to open it. If she sends me a different one about Hiveologie, maybe I'm bored of Hiveologie right now and I don't want to read that one. Great. Her next one is going to be about her amazing charity that she works with honeybees. Maybe that's of interest to me. I'm going to open that one. I'm going to reply. I'm going to engage with that one. Think, guys, think of all the interactions of what you click on in your inbox. You want to be that person. If you're a woman in Denver and you have a beautiful record in skiing because you live in, a skiing paradise, sending things about skiing might resonate with your people. If you sell chalets for a living, might be a good thing to be the person
Mhm.
in the business that understands, her clients' needs and wants. You have to think about who your audience is. If you're in Arizona, talking about saving water, I don't know. Whatever the case may be in each market is so different, and you are different. Email marketing allows for all this to happen. The topics are endless. If you ever run out of ideas, if you were to if you were to just Google, give me 20 amazing and engaging subject lines for email. Do you guys know how many people have studied email to death? It's a science. When to send the email, what time, how many words should be in the subject line. You want to get scientific about it, knock yourselves out. The reason it's the number two pillar in my content mastery series is because it is number two. Social is the date. That's where I'm going to get you because everybody lives on social now. But this is where I'm going to nurture you. Date, marriage, very different things. I can be sillier here, can't be silly here. Go
Well,
on a
there's
silly date.
Simeon.
If you
There's
have,
one other critical piece to that though, Simeon. Remember, you mentioned that you say this when in the resource doc, and I want to make sure everybody knows this. One of the most important things about building an email list is you own that list. Social, you own nothing. So if I mean, look what we've been talking about in the States with TikTok getting, you know, threatened to be shut down. All these people built their entire livelihood in TikTok. So let's say you build your entire livelihood in a social channel that suddenly either blocks you or disappears or whatever. So remember, your goal is to always make sure that at some point you are getting their email address. Plus, in both countries, you want to make sure that you get consent to use their email address at the same time. So those are the sort of two critical elements
sorry,
because the last thing you want to do is build up an email list only to be blown up at going to end up in email jail or whatever. And that's getting stricter every day. So please be careful about that.
And that's huge because when people talk about their business and what you own as a realtor,
Mhm.
your database is the only thing you actually own. That is your business. Understand that that is your business. That's your only
Yeah.
lifeline. So that's why CRMs are no longer an option. It's not a luxury or for the modern realtor. You don't have a CRM, you're cooked.
Yeah.
Because how are you going to nurture effectively? How is it going to be tied? Like in my CRM, like I can see what they're doing on it brings in Facebook, Instagram, like it's savvy. It's creepy, actually. It stalks my audience and it tells me that, like this person is scoring 80% right now for a phone call.
Hmm.
Why? Because they probably mentioned they're looking for a home somewhere on socials.
Yeah.
Like there is crazy tech out there. There's significant things happening. And when you combine tech with intention, you get results.
Hmm.
You need to be dialed in and you need to be trying things. But this is like, it is Monday. You have an entire week ahead of you to design a kick butt campaign.
Hmm. And everybody just remember in the resource, pick it up. You're going to see things like anatomy of a high converting real estate email. There's some scripts and actual copy you can use or play with. There's lots already in there. So just make sure you like Simeon's made a really good point. Every market is different. Your client base is different. Just make sure that it's you going out the door every time and not Simeon or us or whatever, you're going to have to do something along those lines.
And,
So
and right now, Sabina, some really good questions came in the chat.
yeah, I was going to
Um,
ask
I
you, do
just
you want to jump on a
I
couple of
just
those?
noticed them.
Yeah.
I definitely do. Because okay, first and foremost, because the reason I don't talk about the technical stuff is because you guys are going to get that in the resource. So the time that I spend with you guys, I want to spend it on context and
Yeah.
real business practice, like how to look at the world and how to use
Mhm.
these tools that you're going to get. Like you're going to get the resources. That is the technical stuff.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out. It's
Mhm.
done very pragmatic and very practical. Um, but this is the stuff that I'm talking about. How do I re-engage contacts who haven't opened emails in many months? Well, Jennifer, if you have the ability to segment who has and who hasn't opened your emails, that means you're very tech forward. You understand marketing stats. You're going to queue those people up for phone calls. Those people need to hear from Jennifer. Jennifer's words, not typing. If they are not opening your emails, they've completely disconnected, they're tuned out. How do you get them back? You tune them back in. This is Jennifer calling, and I'm just checking in. I sent you a
Mhm.
couple of emails. I was hoping to see you at the last event. I'm going to be in the neighborhood next week and doing some showings. I'd love to pop by. I have this really nice coffee bean, whatever,
Right.
whatever. But Jennifer, that's the time to make the phone calls.
Yeah. Simeon, it seems like that's also a wonderful way to sort of re-engage with somebody would also be all of those ideas you've given us in the past around like your charity drive or your like having a reason to call them sounds like such an awesome way to go, hey, Jennifer, maybe you're not, maybe somebody doesn't pay attention to email, whatever, but
All right, let me
use
show you
something
guys
like that.
right now. Let me show you guys something right now. This is
Okay.
again live and direct from my desktop.
Awesome.
You're going to see what I'm working on right now. So this is an email for my event. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah. Can you make it a little larger if possible? It's a little small for me anyway. My sad eyes anyhow.
Sure, 1 second. Let me see if I can. So what I want to do is I want to show you guys
Mhm.
that right now I'm working on a charity event. And my charity event, let me see here. That's the tab, I think. Am I sharing? Can you guys see sponsorship opportunities?
Yeah.
Net proceeds raised, this right here.
Hmm. Yeah. It's a little
Okay,
small,
great.
but we can figure it out.
Let me do this. Okay,
Awesome. Way better.
so I wrote my email to sponsors.
Hmm.
Then I wrote sponsorship opportunities. This is to be converted into a document. Follow up to sponsors. So I already wrote all my things. I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to load these into my CRM. I'm going to pick the list that I'm going to send it to. And then the follow-up is going to be instant and automated.
Mhm.
Text message is right here. This is what I'm going to copy into my WhatsApp, into my text, send it to all my friends, my family, my clients, whoever. Email to my brokerage. This is going to my brokerage of 1,500 people. Dear friends, I'm writing to you as a colleague, but as a friend. This gives me the opportunity to do, again, this is email marketing, guys. It's for my event, and this is me doing something for the community. This is me doing something on behalf of my whole brokerage. This is me doing what I can to give back to people who gave me a lot. So what is the purpose of me sharing this with you? The purpose is that if you were to go to my Instagram right now, S Papa Elias, go to my Instagram, you're going to see the last 3 posts are about this charity event. But do you think that that is going to sell tickets? Or do you think this email going to 1,500 agents with a heartfelt plea? What I am doing is I'm not writing to you as a colleague, but as a friend. What I'm asking them to do is, if you can, please join me for the special night. Your presence, your support, and your friendship would mean the world to me. You get your tickets here. If you can't attend, consider donating directly to my personal fundraising page. And I look forward to celebrating our success, friendship, and sharing this special moment together. But every dollar helps provide a lifeline to somebody desperate in need. These are things you can't put in a social post. You cannot, talk for a minute and somebody's still going to listen and not be able to click something or link in bio. Nonsense. Social media is used as the bait. Oh, Simeon's up to something again. Great. Let me click it. But then when they look in their inbox and they find this, that's going to cause action or a reaction.
Mhm.
Sorry, man, I can't make it. All the best. Great. Sorry, man, I can't afford to do this year. It's been a tough market. Great. Give $5 if you can, because it puts me $5 closer to my goal. But this is email marketing at its finest. Just like I shared with you my actual entire marketing campaign that went to my database about, clarity calls, resonating with problems, finding out, negative cash flow, eroding equity, all the different problems in the marketplace. It doesn't matter what you're working on. What matters is how you are facing it, how you are dealing with clients. And email is always the number one focus.
Mhm.
Somebody calls me, let me shoot you an email with all the details. Why is that? Because I can't share with you everything right now. It's not going to stick. But when you're on your couch tonight, sitting with your partner, watching Seinfeld, you're going to take 15 minutes and say, hey, let me read this email to you. This is what's going down over here. For 3 years, maybe we should talk about it. Because that's what I'm going to say in the email. If you've been renting for the last 5 years, you know what the market's like. You've seen it go from 800,000 average purchase price to 500,000 average purchase price. If you, tenant, don't see the need to call me, I don't know what. We have nothing else to talk about. This is the opportunity of your lifetime, tenant,
Yeah.
to get into home
Thanks.
ownership, to put those fundamentals to work for you.
Yeah. Simeon, I think that, I really, really, truly believe that all of these events that you run are one of the most amazing strategies that you have. You're always really, really great at this kind of thing. It's always something to talk about. Social, email, whatever. So everybody, I know we're starting to go over time here, but there's a couple other questions in here that I would love, if you don't mind, Simeon, just a
Sure.
quick answer to.
Yes, absolutely.
Everybody always asks, and I get this question all the time. What is performing better? Personal emails or more polished design ones? Like, do you need a header and does it need to look pretty? And do you need photos? Do you need video? Like, what comes across or what have you found works better for you?
It's very, very difficult to do a mass email personal. Personal email works best always, but can you sit there and send 882 emails individually? It doesn't make
Right.
sense. If
Right.
you're using your CRM, you're going to do your CRM. You have the opportunity to design. They are more than likely going to end up in promotions in Gmail, which you
Right.
don't want. It'll only hit their primary if it's from you to them.
Mm-hmm.
So depends on where you're at in your career. It is a numbers game. It is exposure. If you have, if you're starting out and you have 50, 100 people in your database, take the time to individually email them. It's
Mm-hmm.
worth the investment because then you're going to enjoy pretty much a 100% delivery and 100% open rate.
Mm-hmm.
If you have 18,000 like I do, um, that's not going to happen. I can tell you that, it used to be 60% open, it's 50, 40. Now it's, 35, 36. We're in promotions and we're in junk. We're,
Mm-hmm.
we're getting filtered. And there's nothing we can do about it. We can continue to improve and study and, create subject lines and get permissions and all the different things. But at the end of the day, it's a matter of scale. It's a matter of ability. I would rather have, like what's better, plain text or HTML emails? Plain text every time. But plain text every time is not engaging enough. So if you're nurturing over time, if somebody wants to see your emails, they'll white label you. And if they white label you, your well-designed emails are going to perform top notch because they're visually pleasing, they're aesthetic. They have call to action buttons. They have multiple sections. I would say just try both. Try both.
Really.
You know how big your database is. You know who your audience is. Try a few things and really be
Mm-hmm.
intentional in looking at the stats after
Yeah.
and do your
The
tweaking accordingly.
Simeon, I can tell you too, I think that's great advice. I mean, it's always about testing for your market, but one of the things that you do, I think too, that I do is we have a list that I am the one that communicates personally. It's segmented differently. Everything else, that's the big list. We have no choice. We just can't send in, to your point, I can't send
That's right.
individual emails to everybody. And the thing that you have to remember is if you try to create a plain text email, but it still looks like a template, people aren't stupid. They know it's still a mass email. So, keep that in mind too. So just because it doesn't have any design doesn't mean it still doesn't look like a
It,
template, you know?
it's like receiving those. It's like receiving like receiving the printed handwritten notes. There's no bigger insult to me. Like what was it? I don't know if it was the charity, the war amps, the key tags. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I think
Like
I
back in the day,
do.
they used to send you like key tags if you ever lose your keys. Anyways, they kept sending me mailers. Like this is like a campaign. I don't even know how these people make money. Like I don't know, it was a charity of some sort. But like they would send me a printed handwritten note, and I just never understood what that whole thing was about. So don't do
Yeah.
crazy things is all I'm trying to get at.
Well,
Uh, Stay authentic, stay on point, and stay engaging with good content, right? Good content around what you enjoy and passionate about in your real estate business.
I think that's the bottom line for sure. So I think we should probably wrap there since we're a tiny bit over time. Unless Simeon, did
Do
you
it.
want to add
Yeah.
anything else? Or are we off to have an awesome
No,
week?
I just wanted to kind of finish the whole thing. I hope everybody understands
Mhm.
why I went down the path that I went today, why I shared my screen with you. Um, Understand that email marketing is literally this is how business is done. Don't overthink it. You need a proper and structured calendar that's done prior to, so you never have get it off your calendar, like get it off your books. Block one day, write your emails for the year. You can try
Mhm.
different versions of them to try and test different things, but this should not be, as a realtor, you do not need to be thinking about this every day. Create your calendar of events. There's millions out there. Google it, ChatGPT it. Use the resource that I'm giving you today. Don't overthink it. Create it and get working on your database so you can make calls. Calling your database is going to give you deals.
Yeah.
Email creates like I put my hand up. Oh, I like this. I'm going to call you back. That created, you can't beat an inbound call. That's the treasure. But the more automatic you become, the more intentional you become, you're going to have more time to close more deals. Everybody, let's have a kick-ass week. Really, stay productive, stay efficient, and please, if you want to just share with me on your socials. By all means, please follow me, take a look at what we're doing, and share yours as well.
That would be amazing. Thank you, Simeon. As always, everybody have your best week ever, and we will see you next week is Tuesday, guys. Remember, it's a long weekend, so we'll see you on Tuesday. Take care, everyone.
See
Ciao,
you guys
ciao.
then.
Bye.